Heitor will have to accept... Accept what, Perival? How are you? What are you doing here? There's a meeting with the board in the afternoon. You look sad. What's up? Mina lowered her eyes, embarrassed. Nothing. He gently placed his fingers on her chin and lifted her face, sad. Those little eyes are very sad. Fights with her boyfriend. Tough guy, more or less. Eater is stubborn. He doesn't like to argue. He's had lunch yet. I'm not going to the cafeteria. I'd like to talk. I feel like you're a little worried, but I have a lot of work later this afternoon. How about if there's no extra? Can I call you as soon as the meeting is over? We can have a snack at Confiteria Colombo. Would you like to accompany me to Colombo? I'd love to when I leave the office. I usually stop by, but I've never been in. Perival is so beautiful. Rio. So let's go there and talk. You can tell me your problems. Okay. See you later. Myrna said goodbye and went to the cafeteria. Perival sighed, smiled, and took the elevator to the boardroom floor. Vitor got off the bus 2 stops after his. He had fallen asleep and got off annoyed. I'll have after walking all this, he shouted, and 2 blocks before arriving home, he stopped at a bar. He ordered a tail of rooster on a whim, drank it in 1 gulp, and ordered another. Soon, he was falling asleep on the bar counter. Freitas started work early. Besides working as a doorman at night and in the early morning, he did some odd jobs in the building. He had won the sympathy of the residents, and with his somewhat mischievous manner, he helped in fix stoves, refrigerators, whatever was needed. He was a good person. His check-in time was 6 p.m., but on this Monday, he arrived just after lunch because Anita from 902 needed a series of repairs in the apartment. Freitas arrived and started doing the small jobs. When he finished, there was a little over 2 hours left before his shift began. He was happy with Anita's fat tip. He arrived happily to the ground floor. You can go, Mr. Joao. I'll start early. Thanks, Freitas. I have to take my little one to the doctor. He's not doing well. You fell from heaven. Friendship, don't worry. You need it. Just call. Go take your little one to the doctor. It's not easy. I was going to sort the mail. The mailman just delivered it. You can leave. I distribute the letters. Friendship. Go take care of your baby. Thank you. May God bless you. Freitas wrote a thank you and picked up the mail. He was a tall, strong, robust black man with 3 typical Rio de Janeiro mannerisms. He spoke with a drawl. He was always happy with life. He had started working in Lapa as a pimp and realized that no matter how much of a scoundrel he wasn't capable of making money off of the poor girls. His conscience accused him constantly. As soon as he left that type of work, he became romantically involved with an older woman who paid for his supplementary education. Freitas learned to read and write, finished elementary school, and got the job in the building. It was doing very well. He was sorting the letters and whistling when one of them caught his attention. He looked and read it out loud to the resident of the building. .6, a strange letter with no sender. I've seen this envelope somewhere. Freitas separated the rest of the mail as people arrived. He delivered the letters in the late afternoon. He would take the rest of the floors. He stared at the envelope. For a long time, the resident of 601 is the idiot Heitor. I'm mad with this letter. He left the papers aside and started. Delivering what had to be delivered in the late afternoon, Heitor appeared at the building, staggering, and almost fell to the ground. If it weren't for Freitas' help, "Oh, friend, you're really in trouble. I'll help you get up." Heitor pushed violently. His voice was thick. "I don't need your help. Go to hell. I just want to help your mother. I didn't ask for help." Freitas. He shook his head sideways. "You're a bad guy. I'm going up alone. I don't need help. Take the opportunity. And take the mail. I'm not going to take anything near the building. Employee, you're obligated to take it and pass it under the door." Freitas didn't want to argue drunk. Heitor wasn't in his right mind. He let him go up and said through gritted teeth, "Dona Myrna, you don't deserve it, this man, but I have nothing to do with other people's lives. She's an adult and well-lived. When I get home from work, I'll give her and Rubinho the correspondence." They finished the report on time, and the meeting went smoothly. It was a little after 5 p.m., and most of the employees had left. Mila was at her desk typing some documents. "Miss, you're excused. You can go," Sousa said. "There are some papers missing. You've been working very hard this week. I'll just start. I'll need your help in the next few days, and I'll have to share it with Clarice. How come Dr. Brandeo asked her to recommend an employee to help her? She's overworked. She suggested your name. I agreed, exulting with joy. Oh, Mr. Souza, I'm so happy. I really like my job here at Pallida. I guarantee I won't let you down. I'll do everything you want and help Clarice. I'll get organized, and everything will be fine. I promise, that's how it is, she said. Girl, you're going far now. You can go until tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Mina tidied up her documents and closed her desk drawers. She was getting up to go to the restroom when she was approached by Pivel. And so, what about my invitation? She really wanted to go to Colombo, but she remembered Heitor's fury had already caused her trouble with the conversation about the therapist. She didn't want to create another situation that would irritate him. She really wanted to leave. But I need to go home. I have a lot to do. What a shame. There will be plenty of opportunities when the next board meeting is in about 10 days, so we can have lunch that day. What do you think is too far? But I can't today. I'm sorry. Okay. So at the next meeting, you'll have lunch with me at Colombo. We agreed. They said goodbye. It was with a little tightness in her chest that Myrna left the office. She wanted to thank Clarice, but she was stuck in Dr. Brandeo's office. It was getting late, and she needed to go home. She wanted to talk to Heitor about the therapy. What a shame. I wanted so much to have with her. Val, he seemed so cool. She really wanted to go. She wanted to, but fear made her take another step. Myrna trembled, just thinking about Heitor's reaction. He was becoming increasingly violent. She feared for her own safety. She took the bus and went home. She arrived at the building tired. I'm trying not to be seen by Freitas, but she couldn't. Good evening, Mrs. Erna. Everything's fine. She replied, embarrassed. Is there any mail for you? Heitor hasn't arrived yet. He always takes the letters. They've arrived, but they didn't want to take them. He was a little upset. He made a funny gesture with his hands, and Mira understood that Heitor had arrived drunk. She sighed sadly and picked up the letters. She took the elevator and started checking the mail. One of the envelopes caught the attention of the resident of apartment 601. What could this be? She turned the envelope over, and there was no sender. How strange could it be for Heitor? Myrna looked carefully. She opened it as she read. Her legs were weakening. The air was disappearing, and with great difficulty, she opened the elevator door and entered the hallway. She had to kneel down, so weak were her feet. Prayers began, my friend. The one speaking is yours. Be careful with the little one. I know about her past, and I guarantee you'll be furious when you find out what she's been up to in Rio de Janeiro. My friend, the one who warns you is my God. What is this? Who could commit such evil? Myrna trembled in the wind. She crumpled and tore the paper, throwing it in the trash. Heitor, kill me if you find out something like that. She regained her strength, her air, her composure, and reached the apartment door. This is Benes doing. It can only be. She opened the door and entered. The lights were off, and when she turned them on, she saw Benet fall on the floor, a bottle of decoy in one hand. As she dragged herself to bed, she cried in despair. She couldn't say at that moment if the tears were because of the deplorable state she was in or because of Benet's threat. What will I do with my life when I think everything is fine? Look what's happening. She lay down on the bed, loosened his shirt, and took off his shoes. Then, tired and dejected, she went to the bathroom. A shower is all I need. Mir didn't see it, but she felt a pleasant sensation of peace and comfort. Her emotional state improved a little. In a corner of the bathroom, a woman's figure also let a tear run down the corner of her eye. Don't be discouraged, my daughter. I will always be by your side. I can only intervene at the right time. You will need to make your choices, said AI emotionally. Chapter 17. Even receiving the positive vibrations emanated by the spirit of Eustaquia, Myrna spent the week nervous. Fleur de Pelle was walking around with her head down, sad and very afraid. She didn't have the courage to open up to anyone. She feared people's judgment. She didn't want to say anything to Claricio. Aloy had thought about opening her heart to Percival, but she feared being misunderstood. It was already Friday, and she was anxiously awaiting Saturday. She would consult with him, and he could help her get rid of her problems. Yes, he could help her. She was finishing making some photocopies when Clarice called her. Sit down. Make yourself comfortable. Thank you. Is something going on? I see you're feeling down. A little sad. Is everything okay with Heitor? Even if he wasn't? I'm at work. The professional environment is sacred. I don't get things mixed up. I know I can't just walk up to the office door and drop my problems, but I can leave them in a bag when I leave work. I take the bag back. Clarice smiled. Mina, she continued, this week has been very difficult. I'm having problems at home and in my family. She lied. Sometimes it's hard not to think about problems at home while we work. Is there anything I can do to help her? Unfortunately, I'm not anxious. Waiting for tomorrow. Demo will be able to guide me. Wow, really? Are you in therapy with Admo? I heard he's one of the best here in the city. Good to know. Interesting. I always thought therapy was for rich or unbalanced people. It's crazy, really. Clarice laughed. People are very prejudiced against these professionals, but they are fundamental in helping us find balance and peace because they give us keys and tips for us to look at ourselves and try to understand ourselves better. It's a fantastic and productive inner journey. You will change a lot. It's a path of no return. What is the path of learning and valuing yourself? When you face your weaknesses and accept them, you will be able to accept anything in your life. And what is the advantage of that? Whoever accepts anything in life is able to respect anyone other than themselves. You say, with understanding and not judging. That's right. Understanding, respecting, and accepting people as they are when we get in touch with our problems. Wanting to change sincerely. Throwing away all the beliefs that no longer serve us. We are able to live better with ourselves and with the people around us. So I hope you will see. I did therapy for a while, and then I did a self-help course. I have improved a lot, and now with Gustavo's group, I'm sure I have improved a lot. But you are great. You don't need to improve at all. Myrna, the more the better. This is evolution. I want to go to the other world more lucid, more balanced, and happier. I don't want to hear sermons from mentors complaining that I didn't do this or that. I could have chosen this or that. Are you sure that the spirit world is real? Are you not reading the books that Aloy lent it to you? I'm scientists who prove the existence of life after death. But I don't see anything. It's hard to believe. You don't need to see for now. Dedicate yourself to studying and learning. Soon you'll be feeling the energies around you more easily. You may even see a spirit. Do you think it's possible? Without a doubt, you already have the ability to feel this. Yes, when I came to work here at the office, I felt dizzy, a pressure in my head like no other. I felt unwell for a long time. Then, as if by magic, I didn't feel anything anymore. You must have received help that I haven't been to any spiritual center in Rio. You don't need to attend a center to receive help. Don't forget that we all have a mentor, a guardian angel. Of course, in a spiritual center, there are more resources. There is a whole structure set up with astral equipment to remove heavy energies from us. But if it's not possible to attend one, you can do this at home. Yes, at home. This is fundamental for our well-being and to maintain harmony in our home. It doesn't take much time, about 10 minutes at most. Just choose a day of the week, a fixed time. Say a prayer and connect with your guardian angel. Then, read an excerpt from a book that contains positive messages. Then, ask for help and balance, and you'll see how everything will become easier. I like the tip. Where did you learn it? I did this in Belo Horizonte. I learned it at the spiritual center. They called it Gospel in the Home. I made some modifications, and I've had good results. I'm going to try it. If you have any questions, ask me or the group. On Sunday, you call me to talk about it. Ask Myrna, Delicate. I've also noticed your commitment to the company. In fact, not only me, but also all the managers are very satisfied. With your work, thank you. I do what I like. I love this company. I'm happy. You'll be my assistant starting Monday. Mina shook her head. She didn't understand. She got up quickly. Okay. She turned her back. Clarice didn't understand. When she was reaching the door, Myrna gave a look as if she was in shock. You're my assistant, she said. That's right, dear. It's a promotion. Mira couldn't contain herself with joy. She forgot protocol. She walked around the table, hugged, and kissed Clarice, who returned the affection. You don't know how happy I am to work by your side. It's an honor. I've always admired you. I know that. Mr. Souza has always spoken very highly of you. And how will he do it? He's counting on me. Open your hands. No problem. He also thinks you deserve to grow. They're going to hire a typist. Of course, you'll need to help him until he's hired, which might give him a little more work. Mina interrupted. That's fine. I'll do the work for both of us. I can come home late. You won't get into trouble with Heitor. Mina took a deep breath and replied, As much as I like him, as much as I received help from him, I can't help but grow for him, and not like me arriving late. And how he will resolve the situation, I do not know. But if I am being recognized and having a chance to progress at work, I will also have a chance to progress outside of him. Heitor will have to agree with me. That's right. I'm rooting for you. We will see each other on Sunday. Do you want to ride to the meeting? I would love to stop by the building at 7:30. Yes. Thank you. Mir hugged and kissed Clarice once more. She left the office happily and couldn't wait to get home to tell Heitor the good news. Isarinia rang the doorbell insistently. Lizette opened the door angrily. Dona Isarinia, why all the fuss? Shut up, Lisette. It's a matter of life and death. I need to speak to your boss. Where is she? She's in her room resting. Aurélio went upstairs without answering Lizette's pleas. Please, Dona Leocadia needs a rest. Leave me alone. I'm going to wake her up. Lizette shook her head from side to side and went back to her chores. When Isarinia insisted on something, nothing could dissuade her from her intention. Zoran opened the bedroom door and turned on the light. Leocadia became irritated. Lisette, whoever told you to do this, can't you see I'm sleeping? Calm down, it's me, my dear. Leocadia immediately recognized the voice. She rubbed her eyes and yawned. What happened? We need to talk. What happened? We need to settle with Father Main. What now? Leocadia forgot. He needs to buy more material. In fact, since I'm a good customer, he did some work on his own. He needs the money. It's only fair. Leocadia sat on the bed. I don't know if it'll be worth it. It's a lot of money. The more money, the better the service. How can you be so sure, since I've already got results? Isarinia stood up, annoyed. You've never asked me that kind of question, but now I am. What were the benefits that the work brought you? Isarinia put her finger on her chin, thoughtful. Well, let me see. Oh, Margarita doesn't appear in the social columns anymore. Remember how she rivaled me? Well, Father Main did a lot of work, and she disappeared from the map. No one has heard of her anymore. Yes, but it turns out that her husband was transferred to Lisbon. He's a diplomat, and naturally, she went with him. Do you believe Father Main was responsible? I don't think he's that big of a deal. Isarinia gave her friend a withering look. I don't believe what I'm hearing. You're doubting the most powerful sorcerer in Rio. Don't exaggerate. I just think that it's not worth it for someone who is desperate and changed their mind very quickly. What happened? Eugenio came home. He came back. I mean, he's going to stay here until he finds an apartment. And besides, he's still letting him stay here even though he knows he has his secretary as a lover. I don't want to know about that. I'm confused. Please, Isarinia wouldn't give me any respite. She tossed and turned on the bed and talked, until Leocadia became desperate and covered her ears. She screamed, Enough, please, enough. The scream was so loud that Mario, in the next room, heard it and came running in. What's going on? Isarinia tried to keep her tone calm. Intimate conversations, nothing serious. Mario noticed that his mother's face was pale. Are you okay, Leocadia? Isarinia nodded. Isarinia continued. See, nothing serious. She's fine. Leocadia gave her son a pleading look. Mario understood and asked, Please, Mrs. Isarinia, I would like to be alone with my mother for a while. Of course, this is your house. I was the one who was nosy. I'm going, but Leocadia, remember what we talked about. I need an urgent answer. I can't disappoint our friend. Don't do anything to me. Mario answered. He accompanied Isarinia to the door. Good night, Have a good time, my young man. He closed the door and ran to the bed. What happened, Mom? You don't look so good. Leocadia was going to speak, but the tears stopped her. Mario brought her face to his chest. He stroked her disheveled gray hair. Cry, Mom, that's right. It's been a long time since I've seen you really cry. Oh, my son, I don't know what to do. When your father asked for a divorce before we understood each other, I was so desperate that I ran into Isarinya's arms. Then your father and I made up. We're friends. But Isarinya wants me to do things I don't like. Calm down. Let's go slowly. I have all the time in the world for you. Unless you want me out of your room. Leocadia clung to her son. No way do I want you here with me. I feel safe. Side what happened, I'm ashamed to say Mother doesn't trust her own son. Always trust you as Mommy's treasure bad, Rio. I haven't heard that for years at sea. Helena also feel beloved, that since you and ICHME treasure Mother's head gently to the chest first, tell me what Zina wanted nothing. Mario moved away gently and faced Mom. Don't lie to me, Leocadia lowered her head, trembling right. When her father left, I was so bewildered that I called Isarinya. Yes, I remember that day while I arrived from my trip, and there was no one at home when to console herself on her friend's shoulder more or less. It's better to be direct without beating around the bush. Otherwise, we will spend hours talking without any result. I feel ashamed. Let's courage. Leocadia took a lance from the headboard and blew her nose and adjusted her body in bed. Mario helped her by placing the pillows on the headboard so that Mom could lean back and talk better that night. Isarinya took me to a terror. Mario were me in bed, rocking energetically head to the side, or what kind of help would solve her, or that ISO would bring Dad back. I don't know. She was confused. She was desperate and didn't know what to do. She trusted too much. Father, idiot. Father, idiot. Have you heard of him? He's good. I've heard he's a first-class charlatan. He deceives everyone. He's facing 3 criminal charges, one of them for extortion. He's a crook, and he even dishonors spirituality. Oh, I didn't know. And Zern has known him for so many years. He needs to be more careful, Mother. Isarinya. She belongs to high society. She wouldn't take a slipper from me, but she did. I bet he charged a fortune and said he would need more money. How do you know that, Isarinya? No one told me. But this kind of people work this way. They ask for money until they can't afford it anymore. They pretend the work will be difficult to complete, and they will need materials, etc. That's exactly what Isarinya wanted just now, said Leocadia, astonished. Don't get mixed up with this kind of person. People, Mother, they get involved with spirits of a vulgar nature, very negative spirits. Many are ignorant and sometimes come after us, thinking they received very little for what they gave us. There are some who wait for the day of our death just to settle accounts. Leocadia made the sign of the cross. My God, this is possible. Everything is possible. Mother, we must be very careful when we ask for things in life. Leocadia let the tears flow freely. Then I'm lost. I'm screwed. I will no longer have salvation. Now, Mother, why do you say that? Are you going to continue to frequent that place? There's nothing to fear. It's not about the work that P did, if he did, but it's something very old. Leocadia couldn't pronounce the word. She trembled and cried without stopping. Mal hugged her again. Come on, what's behind all this? It's time to free yourself from your guilt and your fears. Tell me what happened. Leocadia adjusted her body on the bed. She closed her eyes and sighed. She rested her eyes, distressed, on those of her son. I was very young. I fell in love with your father, but Eugenio only had eyes for someone else.